Good evening, everybody. This is FUTV TV. I am Adam. Welcome along to your evening update show. Slightly earlier than normal. We didn't do a midday show today because there wasn't enough news, in my opinion, significant enough to bring you. But now there could be. We're talking Jadon Sancho. Is this the one? Is this the story, the day when the news we can read right now actually is real? And we could see Jadon Sancho leaving Manchester United. Please let this be the day we see the back of Jadon Sancho. Or is it another false dawn? We're going to talk about everything. I've got a big list up in front of me on my screen here. I'm going to read through every single report on this from when it first started earlier on today to where we are right now with Jadon Sancho. There's been a lot of updates from different sources throughout the afternoon. This one now looks like it is actually close. I've said this before. Honestly, if there is any news on Jadon Sancho, I am jumping all over it because I'm like you lot in the chat. I don't like the guy. I want him gone. Like, obviously, he's up. He's got to be up there. And with one of the worst. I think we did a poll the other day. Actually, I can't remember if it was Rashford or Sancho. I'm sure Sancho was right up there. The most important player to leave Manchester United this summer, Jadon Sancho. I think he's there. I think that's the one. We've got a ton of other news as well. More details on Antony. Not many people have been talking about what has happened here. There's some that have been talking about this loan offer from Betis that has gone in. I've got a bit more detail on this from a reliable source who has jumped onto this afternoon in the last hour, in fact. So we'll talk about Jadon Sancho, where we're at with Marcus Rashford as well. That is important. I was talking about this from the other side on Football Talks earlier on as well, my other channel. If you haven't already subscribed to that one, make sure you do. Links in the description, everybody. And we are going to be talking about a new bid, or new talks, sorry, not bid. It's not there at that stage yet. New talks from what we previously talked about on Ollie Watkins. Interesting. All of that to come in the show this evening. Get into the live comment section, everybody. Talk to me. Give me your thoughts on everything as we usually do. If you are on catch-up mode later on because we've started early, sorry. Just get your comments in below, though, please, everybody, and let me know what you're thinking. I might be back later this evening as well yet, to be honest. I got a feeling there's more news coming tonight. We've not even touched on Mbeumo yet. We will talk about him as well. But the most important thing right now, and I think one thing that every single Manchester United fan is aligned with, is getting rid of shit players. And I don't just mean crap players on the pitch. I mean absolute poisonous players that have plagued this football club. Jadon Sancho is right at the top of that list, isn't he? So let's get through, like I promised, all of the stories as they broke throughout the day. And it started around about 4 hours ago. And just around after the 1 o'clock mark, Jadon Sancho willing to drop his wage demands to join Juventus. That would clinch the deal. That's what pricked my ears up straight away. Straight in with the big one. We know about everything else. We're going to talk about it in a minute. But if Jadon Sancho is willing to take a pay cut, that is the biggest movement you could ever get in any Jadon Sancho story, because this has been the stumbling block throughout. Obviously, we know about the Chelsea situation. We know that Napoli have dropped off because of his wage demands, but Juventus are keen. This morning, we talked about the swap possibilities for Manchester United. If they really wanted them players, the deal is there for United to get done. It is. I don't know if we are fully interested in them players. I'm sure this deal would have been done quicker. It's all I'm going to say on this one. But United are apparently holding out for their fee. They want to sell Jadon Sancho outright. And you know what? This is going to be as important as bringing Bryan Mbeumo in right now for Manchester United. If we can stand firm and we can actually negotiate a deal to get this man out of the football club and get money in United's bank account and then go out and buy whatever player we want to in midfield instead of a make weight. Like before, we were at the point where we know that Jadon Sancho isn't going to lower his wages, so United are going to have to do something. But if these stories which have come out later on in the day are real, these are the ones that really do benefit what Manchester United want to do going forward. So that was the first one that came out, and then we started to get some other news, and a few accounts jumped onto what Alfredo Padula was saying. A full agreement between Sancho and Juventus is now close. The deal will accelerate in the next few days. Juventus United are aligned with a £25 million fee. And then it goes on again. Marco Alcaraz. Full agreement between Jadon Sancho and Juventus. It goes on again. Sky Sports jump onto it. There is now optimism for a deal to be concluded between Jadon Sancho and Manchester United, along with Juventus on personal terms. The player is open to the move to Italy. Damashchev goes on to say, Sancho is open to joining Juventus with talks described as positive. However, there's still work to be done to finalise the fee and personal terms. All parties seem willing to make the deal happen. So that's Sancho, that's United, and that's Juventus. Then the United source came out, Man United source came out, who only tweets out whenever there's a deal that feels close, looks close, or has got real sort of like reliance behind it. And they say Juventus pushing hard now for Jadon Sancho. A fresh bid for the player is expected soon. Negotiations over personal terms ongoing. The fact that Juventus haven't buckled like Napoli did makes me feel like they're willing to compromise and try and make something happen. Now that alone tells me there's a real confidence here, because Jadon will go to Juventus. He wants that move. Juventus really want Jadon Sancho, and that's what's come across. Damasio has said pretty much the same thing. They want him and are full on in, and they're the ones accelerating the talks right now. They want him in after signing Jonathan David. They want Jadon Sancho in next. Moving on. Juventus are expected to place a formal bid to Manchester United for Jadon Sancho. 25 million is the player's price tag. Marco Alcaraz again. Talks over Jadon Sancho's possible move to Juventus have been described as positive. There is still work to be done on reaching the agreement with a fee. But Juventus is pushing, and it appears to be willingness from all parties. Again, that was brought up by United District earlier on after what Damashchev said. Let's just see what else we've got here. The asking price is 25 million. However, given his wages, another loan move cannot be ruled out, says Damashchev as well. Which is where I was at earlier on, which is where I was talking about the players that were probably being offered to Manchester United, because that way, obviously, then United might be able to do a deal where Juventus get rid of a player and can use them wages to help fund Jadon Sancho. All sorts of different things could happen with this deal. But Manchester United, from all of these reports, from everyone who's saying things on this one, and it's again the same one, the same story keeps on coming up and up and up. The deal will accelerate in the next few days. Juventus and United are aligned, and Juventus are apparently, and we've heard this before, so we can take this as a definite in terms of this 25 million. I've seen several accounts running with it now. 25 million doesn't seem to be an issue for Juventus. This is how confident everybody is that United can get this deal done. It is ultimately going to come down to the wages of Jadon Sancho, which takes us straight back to the first story, which triggered everything that was going on. The only reason Juventus have continued talking to Manchester United is because Jadon Sancho and Juventus are talking. And the Musketeers ran with that earlier as well. A deal for Sancho to Juve will be more to do with Juve and Sancho getting closer to a deal than United and Juve. United's preference for a straight sale is clear, and the salary gap must be closed a bit to make it feasible. They don't want to be forced into a massive payoff. So, in what we're saying here is, the reason why this deal is close is because Juve haven't got a problem with the fee for Jadon Sancho. That's been made clear by everyone. Even Romano has said, no issue, 25 million in the bag. Not a problem at all for Juventus. Now, if Juventus are willing to go in with an official bid for Manchester United, and that is accepted by Manchester United, then Juve have to be confident that they are getting close to an agreement with Jadon Sancho on personal terms. Otherwise, what's the point in bidding? Because United will accept that bid, and things will move forward, but they would not have gone to the point where they're ready to make a bid for Jadon Sancho unless there is something that's changed behind the scenes. Now, I don't know how far it's changed. I don't know how much Jadon Sancho's willing to drop, if that is actually the case. Is he willing to actually let go of a few of them millions on his wage packet every single year? I got no idea is my honest answer to that, and no one's saying anything. All we're getting is there is a sign and there are noises that Jadon Sancho has dropped his demands, and Juventus are starting to feel confident and positive that talks with Jadon Sancho can get to a point where a deal can be agreed. Maybe Jadon Sancho's agent has actually said, look, you ain't getting anywhere this summer unless we get these wages down. United will not loan you. If United do the unthinkable and let Jadon Sancho rot, then that really is standing up to something. I would say that, and that's sacrificing Manchester United moving forward on the pitch, because we need the money. I don't know if the message has gone across to Jadon and his people, and he's now looking at this a completely different way. But Manchester United, I think, playing hardball. I don't know if it's forced Jadon Sancho to do something different, move away from that, the demands that he actually wants in terms of wages. Juventus have been known to be able to pay high wages. And obviously, bringing in Jonathan David, he won't be cheap. I don't know if they're going to be able to move players on to make room for Jadon Sancho's and Jonathan David's wages. But all we can say is that this looks like there is significant movement on Jadon Sancho's part to make this happen. United and Juventus, like Romano said, have never been a mile away and never been to a point where there is no deal to be had. And if there's a bid coming in, there has to be some form of agreement already with Jadon Sancho, because we know that clubs always negotiate the player side of things. They have to find out if the player's on board first of all. Then they'll start talking to the player and get some form of verbal agreement around wages. Then they'll get into the club and say, this is how much we're willing to pay. They need to know how much Jadon Sancho really wants this move. And as soon as they get an inkling of that being a real positive, then they're in and they're making it happen. And that is where we're at right now. Jadon Sancho is edging ever closer to Juventus, and a permanent deal is the headline right now this afternoon. We can start to get a little bit excited, not fully, because this is nowhere near done. And I think Damashek has made that very clear, and everybody else is on the same page. As soon as this bid goes in, though, this completely accelerates to a point where, like we said this morning, we could get movement this week on Jadon Sancho. Because if they've been working behind the scenes on his deal, and let's be honest, why would Juventus be constantly communicating with Jadon Sancho if they thought there was no chance of getting this done? You know, that's it. It's like Napoli, walk away. It's not within our means. We cannot afford this player. They're out. Simple as. Juve haven't. That's the big tell. That's the big one in this. And they haven't gone away, have they? They've been there constantly throughout. And it is seen like Manchester United are now in a place where they're waiting, knowing that Juventus are in a comfortable enough position with Jadon to make that bid, and we're expecting that bid to be what Man United actually need and are willing to accept. Big news this afternoon on this one. It is absolutely massive for United, and if Jadon Sancho leaves, then we can really start to make... it's like we've said this before. If Jadon Sancho leaves on loan, we can make something happen. If Jadon Sancho is sold on a permanent, and he's off the books, and we've got a bit of money, like I said before, alongside the likes of Alvaro Fernandez, who's about to be sold to Real Madrid. If it's true that it's 25 million, I think it's a bit less. I've seen few different numbers. So let's go with what Sky and let's go with what everybody else is saying. 25 million. That's 30 million for Jadon Sancho because we got the 5 million off Chelsea. Then you got 7 million off Alvaro Fernandez. There's 37 million brought in from Manchester United and one massive wage off the books. 12 to 13 million a year gone. Sancho's instalments gone. A little bit of money left over as well for Manchester United to then invest with alongside the money that they're already using for instalments and Jadon Sancho's wages. This is absolutely massive for Manchester United if they can get this done. It excites me to think about it, but I've always got that little bit of fear inside me that this could go Pete Tong and Jadon's going to stick this out for his big payday next summer. I don't know if United have done something behind the scenes. I don't know if a reality check has come into Jadon Sancho. I will wait for the next big one because I know if Juve make a bid, something's agreed with Jadon Sancho, and then I'll start to get really excited, thinking that this man has finally left Manchester United. It's party poppers and bunting time, people. It's almost there. We can smell it, but we've been here before. The hope has been there. The stories have been there. Everything's been aligned, and then someone else has come out, and I will be back later if it does, and told us to sit back down again. He's just been an absolute tit again, and we're not getting the deal we wanted because he wants more money. I'm fully expecting that to happen as well, but I think you can actually forgive me for getting a little bit excited because I put everything together when I think about things and bring it out to you and talk about it. And I said the biggest thing in this was the first story about Jadon Sancho willing to compromise his wages. The second one, if an official bid is going to come to Manchester United, it means they are 100% confident that they can get a personal terms agreed with Jadon Sancho. Let's get into the comments on this now and see what you're all thinking. Are you confident that this could actually be the deal that actually gets Jadon Sancho out of the door? Talk to me, everybody. I'd be so surprised if that rat agrees. I hope I'm wrong. MUFC 87. You just pretty much took the words right out of my mouth, mate. You really did. And I'm with you completely. I'm going to hold onto this excitement. Just the thought of Jadon Sancho leaving puts a big smile on my face, honestly. That alone is how big this is for me. But I know, and I've been here before, and I've learnt this summer to actually just stay calm. Not let it stress me out. By the way, last night when I was getting a bit irate and I was all over the place, sorry about that. I forgot to mention it again this morning. I had bleeding insurance onto me and I was trying to do loads of different things at once. Kaz was playing a blinder downstairs, trying to organise insurance. Honestly, things happen at the wrong time sometimes, don't they? And dealing with insurance and then trying to do a show at the same time. Apologies if I did seem a little bit crazy on last night, but this is now full on concentration mode. And it's that little bit of a, let's just say, a little bit of a Man United fan, the old school United fan that I used to be when I was a younger kid, when I got excited about every transfer window, coming out of me in a little bit now. But I think it's warranted. I do. Les, now I've not even read Les's message yet, but Les is usually more to the negative side. Nothing against you, Les. You're just being real, and I get it. But I've not read it out yet, so let's see what he's got to say. I've just seen his name, so I'm going to read it now. If this happens, I will see this as one of the best moves United do this window. I cannot tell you how much I want him out. I will see it as a victory. Les, that's like the best we've actually come together with, really, on a show in terms of agreement, that, mate. This alone, me and Les actually fully agreeing on something actually happening here at United. This means it's going to happen, people. You can take it from the live chat right now. Les and myself, we're on board with this deal. We usually don't agree on a lot, but this one is happening. We've just confirmed it there. Of course, I'm only joking, everybody, but again, look, you'd rather be listening to someone happily talking about things, feeling a bit more optimistic, wouldn't you? I mean, where's the fun in anything else? We can't be negative all the time. I mean, bleeding hell, we just had that season we had, so let's cling on to the good bits that we can here, everyone. Liam says, give me Sancho, here we go. Over at Mbeumo, here we go. Can't wait to see some of these, what are they? Doylums go. What are Doylums? Is that how you say that, Liam? I'm not sure. Doylums? I don't know what that is. What is a Doylum? Sounds interesting. Sounds like something you don't want, which makes sense, to be honest. Unless there's a typo in that there. I could think of plenty of names you could actually call them, mate, to be honest. And maybe it is a typo. I hope so. Just like Scott McTominay and now even Kevin De Bruyne, they won't lose their wages, even by lowering it. England tax is 40%. The Serie A is 25%. So 200k in Italy is better than 300k in England. It's a good point again. Someone was talking about that actually earlier on about Anthony's wage situation. We are going to talk about Anthony as well in a moment. Let's just see. We have got updates on Anthony and Rashford coming up as well, everybody. So stay tuned for that. I'm just picking out a few more comments in this one here as well. Who's the source for the Sancho news? Is Damasio, it's Sky Sports, and it's the United source as well, and Alfredo Padula on the Sancho situation. So that I can take as definite things actually happening. So yes, we do know that this is something from what Romano said United are up for, an agreement with. The personal side is what we're trying to get more and more information on right now, but it is from these noises looking more and more positive on that. So I will keep you updated as things come on Jadon Sancho, everybody. But of course, it is something that every single Manchester United fan wants and needs to happen for this football club right now. Steve O says Juventus must think he can get them into the European final. Jason going, or is that Jaden going for a hat-trick of European finals, maybe? Yeah, maybe. Look, he might fit in perfectly at Juventus. Look, it worked for him at Chelsea in a way. He had some alright numbers. He just didn't warrant the price tag that he is and the ways that he's on. I honestly feel like Jadon Sancho will work elsewhere. And Italy might be the best bet for him. It works in Germany. Maybe Italy is just the right place for him. And he might become more and more, I don't know, more and more valuable to Juventus over time. Let's just see what happens. Anyway, wanting to move on. Now, Manchester United apparently, and we spoke about Ollie Watkins last night, Manchester United apparently have opened fresh talks with Ollie Watkins, not so much Ollie Watkins, but Aston Villa, separate to the deal that Laurie Whitwell and Fabrizio Romano were talking about. Now, the original deal was just before the window shut over Marcus Rashford's loan. Then Aston Villa announced that they were sending Marcus Rashford back. No swap deal, nothing happening. That was United's ideal situation with Ollie Watkins. Now, there are reports going out that Manchester United have actually contacted Aston Villa with a deal separate to the Marcus Rashford one. So, a deal on its own. Now, unfortunately for Manchester United, the inevitable has happened again, which is United tax in its full and finest form has come to the fore. And that is that Aston Villa are wanting approximately 60 million for Ollie Watkins. Now, you and I both, you and I all know United are not going to go anywhere near that. Not a chance. Ollie Watkins would have to be a maximum 40 million for Manchester United to even enter the negotiation room. Simple as. There's not a chance that United will pay anywhere near that money. We all know it, and none of us in this room here would pay 60 million for Ollie Watkins. He isn't worth it. United's stance on this is exactly where we are, and at least the club are standing firm on things like this. It's not just the outgoings and wanting to get fees for players instead of swaps and loans. It's actually standing the ground with transfers as well in terms of players coming in. You're not going to charge United the stupid money that you used to be able to charge us. So United's stance on this is that he's 29, there's zero sell-on in terms of Ollie Watkins, and Aston Villa will buckle on this. Approximately, by the way, for anyone who is interested, the news on Aston Villa selling the women's team, 55 million. Apparently, listening to Stefan Bourson on TalkSport this morning with the minor details of this. They're still negotiating market value and everything like that, but it's reportedly going to be about 55 million for Villa to try and balance books and avoid PSR. It's not going to make a difference in terms of what happens with Ollie Watkins. If anything, it may just push him further out of the door because he's 29, and if somebody wants to come in and take him, they'll have a bit more money then to go and buy a younger striker, which is apparently what Villa want to do. So that's where we're at with Villa's situation and Ollie Watkins. They want a lot of money. United won't pay it. United will just walk away from Ollie Watkins. And as much as I like the player and I've bigged it up, if United can get it done, I'm all for it. But United walking away from that at that price, if they can't get that down anywhere under 40 million, totally happy with it. But it brings up the question that I asked this morning again. Would it be better for United to have no striker because we can't find the right one next season? Or is that too dangerous? Is there any point in bringing someone else in who you don't know is going to hack it just to be there alongside Rasmus Højlund? Is there any point? Or do you try and put somebody else in? This is where I think United are at right now. They're looking for that, like Romano says, opportunity of a striker to come in. They're looking for the right type of player. That right type of player, I don't see out there at the moment, unless clubs start dropping the prices. Now, I have always backed up the fact that United may wait it out until the end of the window to see if clubs start to buckle under the pressure of trying to move want-away players on and trying to get deals for better players themselves. Pre-season has gone, and obviously right at the end, when you're just about to start the season, the managers are getting to realise, like, can I actually handle a full season with this player in my side? Decisions are made. Pre-seasons tell you a lot. Players' attitudes change. Scenarios change within inside the dressing room, and obviously the environments change when certain players leave or different players come in, and then you get to find out whether someone's up for it. This is what I've always used as an example of for Kobbie Mainoo. If Kobbie Mainoo comes back and starts operating in a different way and is willing to put the graft into change for Ruben Amorim, he is more than going to keep him. If he's still the same and he starts demanding his stupid money, then he's going to be out the door. Mainoo will be gone. But this is what happens now. And then players start to feel wanted or not, and are they fully on board with the season ahead? And then you'll get a load of scrambling around in the last few weeks of the window. And that is usually what happens. United have done loads of deals in the last few weeks of windows with different opportunities jumping up. So that, I think, is something that we need to keep an eye on. Again, I don't expect United to move for a striker until we get to the latter stages of this window. Look, I never say never. Anything can happen. But Ollie Watkins is not coming to Manchester United at that price. We know it, United know it, and Villa know it. I don't know what their position is on this or how they're going to play this, but United will just sit back and say, no problem, we'll carry on. Should United buy a striker for the sake of it? Get into the comments on that one, everybody. Do we actually just sit it out and wait till next summer? Or do we just need to bring in anybody? Anybody is the problem we've had over the years. About Vegas coming in, didn't work. You know, like Rasmus Højlund didn't work. We thought we were buying a striker in Xerxes, didn't work. Yeah, it's time for Xerxes, but he isn't a natural number 9. This is the question, I think, and this is the way that United are looking at this, and it's quite clear. Like, we had Delap. They thought they could work with Delap and actually have a player that could score goals and develop even more. Didn't get him. Gyökeres, 2 day. Osterman, 2 day. Ekitike, 2 day. 2 day. They're just going to walk away. They're not going to overpay anymore. I think this is the painful summer we have to go through as a fan base, because United are using this summer to set their stall out in terms of what's going to happen going forward. And what's going to happen going forward is Manchester United not being absolutely taken the piss out of in a transfer market. You can see it in all of these deals. You can. You can see it in Brian Mbeumo, you can see it in Cunha, you can see it in Jadon Sancho, in players leaving Manchester United with Antony, which we're going to talk about next, in fact, actually. But Glenn, first of all, with a super chat, thank you, Glenn. The word Rasmus is still banned, by the way. And I pointed out the club's post from the other day inviting fans to register interest in the next fan consultation on the stadium when they was having a moan saying fans in the dark. Yeah. Fans in the dark. Really? No, we're not. We can see everything that's going on right now with what's been said with this new ownership. One thing we cannot argue with is the amount of news we've actually got from inside the club. It's completely different to what it used to be. And no one can even pull the club on that one. Let's be clear. We can't. Thank you, Glenn, for the super chat, buddy. Really appreciate that, mate. So, United going forward, standing their ground. I'm not bothered if we... Look, if we get... Before we move on, if we get Watkins, we get Watkins. We'll get him at the price we want. I know this now because of the way United have approached this window. We're not going to overpay. It's as simple as that. In terms of overpaying, where the hell is Brian Mbeumo? I'm waiting. Come on. Come on. I backed these people that were saying that this deal was close, and they're still saying the same thing, by the way. It's going to happen. I heard another story this morning. I was talking on the radio. This second bid, the second one that's gone in, has not been rejected outright. It's not been rejected out of hand at all. It's a restructuring of it. And the price is right. Brentford are happy with the price. That's what's being said at the moment. So it isn't. It's just doing it on what they want. And they know that they can get more of that full price of 65 million if they get easy add-ons and the majority of that money paid upfront in shorter instalments. Now, why do you think Manchester United are pushing on the Jadon Sancho situation? Because with his wages off the book completely and some transfer fees in, this could possibly just give Manchester United the opportunity to just say, look, let's just get Brian Mbeumo done. They feel confident that it's not going to put them in a bad PSR position going towards the back end of next season. And that's where I think United are at. They are clinging on to every tiny little bit and every single penny in every deal, whether it's an in or an out, to try and make the most. They are monetising Manchester United to the max in every single way. So that, I think, is where we're at. And Brian Mbeumo, there is still no word, but apparently earlier on, somebody did say that there was another bid going in, even though the other one wasn't fully rejected, like we've said. Another offer is going in, or they've come to more of an agreement that is expected to go in today. So, what are we waiting? Is tonight going to be the night where we find out some big news? Are we going to be all excited and we're back on YouTube later on talking about it? We don't know. Again, but the Brian Mbeumo situation convinces me that United won't be buying anybody for the sake of it. I've said this before. Look, in terms of Jadon Sancho and swapping players around and bringing players in from Juventus, this would only work if Manchester United were willing to take them players in. We said that this morning. And if them players are not on Ruben Amorim's list and he's not happy with them, they won't come in. And then later on in the day, we find out that Jadon Sancho might be willing to drop his wages. So United's standing firm is actually bringing results, but it's not going to bring them quick. And that's when the fan base turn. Because they want results now. They want them now. I'm seeing loads of aggregator accounts just jumping on the same bandwagon. Manchester United slow at negotiating. When are we going to get deals done? I'd wait all the way through the summer window until the last day, September 1st. I will sit here and pass judgment on what United have done If it's all of them players out and it's certain players in, I am a happy man. I am not going to be blowing a gasket like a lot of people, over-egging it and overhyping the negative train on anything while Manchester United are still negotiating the best deals they possibly can. We're a month into the window and we are deep in negotiations on several deals. Let's see what we can get out of them. Because I tell you what, you won't get many people mourn if Man United do end up getting rid of the players we need to and end up getting 4 or 5 players in that are really going to enhance that starting 11. No one's going to mourn at that point. If anyone starts mourning at that point, oh, it's taken them long enough. Well, I said this before. We've done deals quickly and got them wrong. I would rather make sure that I would be happier as a fan knowing that my football club and the structure above is working on these deals, on every minor detail of these deals, to make sure we don't fall into the trap that we're in right now, and we're not in this shit mire that we are now with these players. That's all I care about. The future of this football club is just as important as the now. The now sets the standard for what happens in the future. And we have to go through this painful bit. Everybody said this is going to take years. Everybody said United need to fall even further before we bounce back. We've just fallen and fallen and fallen, and we might have just hit rock bottom. And now we're in a position where we know we've got a coach who is going to improve players, otherwise he's going to be sacked. But that's why we brought him in, because he is known for transforming players from the depths of despair to where they are, like Sporting and Braga and the history of Ruben Amorim. And judgment will be passed this season, of course, like we've said. But I think Manchester United, most of all, are doing what we said at the start of this video, which is saying no. And that is a big thing, saying no. Will we walk away from Mbeumo? I don't see it happening. I think we've got to go for him personally. But would I be surprised if we did? No, I wouldn't at this point. I'm just seeing more and more of it, and there's a common trend in what every single journalist is saying at the moment, which is Manchester United, as well as the other clubs standing their ground, are just as strong in their stance with all of these deals. And look, everything is still on the table for every single player that we're talking about right now. The only done deal is Matheus Cunha. And Mbeumo might walk away, might stay at Brentford. Sancho might loan. Sancho might be stuck in the doldrums at Man United with no club. Marcus Rashford, on the other hand, moving on to him, that is going to be a loan. I've said this many a times. Marcus Rashford's out at Manchester United is a loan. No one's going to pay his wages. Bayern Munich cannot afford Marcus Rashford's wages. Now, Bayern Munich have bid for, obviously, Luis Diaz. So, Bayern Munich are in for Diaz, and Liverpool have made it abundantly clear that deal is not on the table. He's not leaving Liverpool. So, they've had to pivot. They've had to go for other targets. And the other target is a left-sided attacking player. It's absolutely perfect for Marcus Rashford. Go on loan to Bayern Munich. I'm not even going to bitch and moan about United not getting a transfer fee for Marcus Rashford. I'm fully accepting of it. But the update is Bayern Munich now are paying even more attention to Rashford because they cannot get their number one target, Diaz. And credit to Liverpool for helping us out a little bit here. I mean, credit to Liverpool on their own. And I hate saying that, but I've said this many a times on Football Talks. The fact that they can bring in Florian Wirtz and want to keep Luis Diaz as well, knowing that they've got other players that really aren't going to work, and raise enough money through them like Nunes and Harvey Elliott and getting over 100 million for them two together. That's where United used to be. That's what we used to be. That's the table we used to be dining at. And now we're scrambling around and trying to find our feet again. It's like we've been knocked to the canvas completely and we're on about the 6 count right now. We're getting closer to that 9 and that 10 and you're out. Manchester United have just got enough about them right now. I think we've just about caught up at the right time in terms of how football clubs should be run to make a difference, but it's still going to be a slow process to getting back up there. People moan when we overpay and moan when we negotiate. No one is ever happy. I am with Adam. See where we are. 1st September with ins and outs. We're just going to have to ride the roller coaster, people. Try not to throw up along the way. Take it for what it is, a little bit of a thrill ride. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, and we are going to be annoyed, happy, angry, seething, absolutely restless, anxiety-driven. There's going to be so much. This is how much this football club means to these fans. And I always laugh at people looking in on what we do and what football fans in general are. Like, people who don't watch football don't understand like the whole uproar of this and everything like this. This just shows you the amount of people in the room right now, the amount of people that are commenting, and I can see them all, are just involved in this and excited by what's happening right now and so enthralled in it. This is what football is. This is what fans actually need. They need to see progress because they've invested so much into their football club. And when you're talking about a turning, and this is like a Hollywood bleeding story, this, isn't it, with Man United? All of the young lads coming through that have failed. It looks like the full structure is breaking down and then the fallen giant rises again. I know it's getting a little bit ahead of myself with that one. I know, and it's going to take time. But this is where United are at. It's now rock bottom hit. The only way is up. And that, I think, is what we have got as a fan base to look forward to, I think, more than anything now. Adam, we have more problem than selling those players. We have the results. We have to resort. Sorry, mate. Completely misread that one. We have to recruit wisely this transfer window. Yep, completely with you. So, like I just said, this is why we're going into all the detail on Brian Mbeumo. If the price isn't right for Watkins, we will walk away. It's as simple as that. Jadon Sancho, we've got offers there. We've got loans. We've got swaps. We've got possible make-weight players to come in. Nope. We want our money. We want him gone. Standing our ground. Love it. It's exactly what Man United used to do. Exactly. Ollie Grass with 5 gifted memberships. Thank you very much, my friend. I absolutely love that. Thank you for the contribution. Speaking of contributions, again, MUFC 87 can only see him running the contract down. A scumbag on Jadon Sancho. That word's been used a lot, hasn't it, with Jadon Sancho, with this United fan base. Glenn with another super chat. Mate, you are absolutely cooking tonight. Adam, you're going to base your score for the transfer window on the clubs we sign. Clubs we sign, clubs we sign players from. You got to knock points off for Wolves and Brentford. No, because they're ahead of us in the league. And I look at this and go, any club that's small is going to drive a harder bargain for Manchester United. So, if anything, you might want to say put points on for negotiating with the smaller clubs. That might actually be the best way of looking at it. You do need to give the club some credit for actually standing its ground, like I said. And I'll wait it out all summer. I haven't got a problem in waiting. Some people have. That's fine. They just want to get things organised and done. I look at everything. I'm not just looking at the obvious. I look at everything and all of the details. That's just the way I am. And that's why a lot of you are subscribed. Because you're all sensible people. You know what? I challenge any channel to have a better subscriber base and knowledgeable Man United fans than Forever United TVs. There you go. I've called them out. I've called everyone out for you all. You're going to have to back me on that now, though, because I've just given you the big up. So make sure that you come in with some good comments now. First one that comes out now, I guarantee it. Adam, you're a dickhead. I tell you right now, honestly, people just love to go the complete opposite straight away. But I do love the banter as well. My shirt says BLS. Where have I got my shirt from? Actually, can one of the mods just pop me the link to where I get my shirts from, please? Honestly, guys, go fill your boots. Any shirt that you want, and I mean any, on the site, dirt cheap, quick delivery as well. Thank you very much for that. I think that's Gray, who's called himself Cash One. But a link there is in the live chat. Anyone who is wondering where I got this purple shirt from, it's a special edition shirt, everyone. Cheers, Tom, as well. All of my mods have got these shirts, and they can all vouch for them. Great quality, wash really well, great fit, brilliant. A complete variety of shirts from every single club, from present day to all the retros. Go check them out on that link. Link is also in the description for anyone who's watching later on as well. Fill your boots, honestly. 15 quid. Not kidding either. Any size you want. 15 quid. And, by the way, it's free thingy right now. Free customization. So you can get whatever name you want on the back. And the badges also. That's on the site as well. Don't forget to use the size guides just to guide you as well on each page, everybody. But everyone does love the purple one. I thought I'd put it on again tonight just to get everyone excited again. By the way, I'm not long away from going away. And you know what happens when Adam goes away? Why am I talking in the third person? When I go away, sorry. When I go away, it always kicks off. And next week, I'm away again for a few days. You know what happens. Hold on to your hats. I wonder what the breaking news is going to be this time. I remember it. Last time I was in Lanzarote, you all seen it on the harbour. Mbeumo. Pray to God that by the time I go away, we're actually with Mbeumo in pre-season. I don't know That will stress me out a little bit. By the way, everybody, thank you. We're creeping up to 600 live likes on the evening show, which is mega. Absolutely mega. Please do hit the subscribe button as well to keep up to date with everything going on. And obviously, make sure you hit that bell notification button as well, because when the news breaks, I will have you covered and I will bring you positive news. I promise you. If you subscribe here, you'll get positive news. Even when it's bad. I'm not going to spin it. I'll just look at it from a few different angles. Yeah, okay, I can't convince you, can I? No, I'm only joking again. But no, as it is, spade's a spade. I'll call it as it is, and I'll say it. I'll say what's on my mind. You know that. If you watch me through the season, through all of the reviews and the games and everything like that, you know I'm honest. You know I'm not always Mr. Up there, positive. I do say it as it is. Wanting to move on to the Antony situation. Now, this is starting to move quite quickly. Now, the financial, and we spoke about this morning, the financial situation with the rules and the financial rules in Spain have snookered Real Betis a bit here with this one. So Real Betis want to offer a loan to Manchester United for Antony again. This is where I don't like the club doing this type of deal, because I know that Como are ready to offer all the money up front for Antony. That offer is there. Romano has talked about it. And United are not entertaining it. I know Antony and they're giving Antony preference, but this is the script as it is right now. It's a loan with obligation, in instalment obligation. It keeps on changing and the goalposts keep on moving with the Antony situation. So bear with me on this one again. But Real Betis still need Manchester United's help with his wages to get this deal done. But the good news on this, and what we said earlier on with the dual ownership thing again, and the big positive, and I've been talking about Man United standing their ground a lot tonight, apparently they've rejected it. United have said no. Antony, if he wants to go to Betis, he's going to have to take the hit. Because United know about Como and other clubs that are in a better financial position than Betis that are willing to come in and take this deal on. So hold on with this one. Man United might actually get what they want for Antony yet. The problem that Betis have got is United, I don't think, have got an issue with instalments for Antony, but they're not paying his wages. Antony's going to have to renegotiate his contract and go down in wages. He's already said he's willing to take a pay cut, but Antony is the one that's going to have to sacrifice something to make this move, because United have got offers elsewhere and the club are not going to give in. And I was saying this morning, I cannot understand for the life of me why United would not be looking at other offers and telling Betis where to go. We owe them no favours. We're in the shit ourselves. They're actually in a better position than us. We cannot be giving any club any favours right now for sake of getting rid of a player, particularly when the player has got offers elsewhere. I'm sorry, I don't care what you want to do, Antony. I love you for trying to make this deal happen and sacrificing more than what the other players that we want out of this club have. But take a massive pay cut. Betis need a package which works financially, wage-wise and instalment-wise. At the moment, the instalments they cannot make work because Antony's wages don't fit what they need to pay for the financial rules and regulations that are over there in La Liga. They are short of it. They have to be creative. And unfortunately, at the moment, it looks like they're coming up short every single time. But as far as I've got these reports now, and where we're actually at with how many bids have gone in, this is now about the third time that Betis have come in and approached United on a particular deal or wanting to get some form of deal done. And it isn't getting any better for them. They keep on getting knocked back. And this one, again, looks like it is going to be knocked back. It does. London, thanks for the gifted membership, buddy. Really appreciate that. We have a couple of super chats in again. I'm going to get into the chats on this one now. By the way, everybody, not just on the topic I'm talking about right now. If you've got anything else you want to ask or talk about from what we've spoken on the show so far, God knows how we're nearly creeping up to 45 minutes already. Where is that show bleeding gone? My God. Anyway, get your comments in and ask me about it. Right, in terms of them shirt sizes, everybody, and what I'm wearing quickly, I know a few of you are asking. When are you away? Who is going to do the show? I do it while I'm away, mate. I don't stop. Every single day of the year, mate, I record while I'm away. And the news, I will bring you while I'm abroad. or wherever I am in the country, mate. It doesn't stop, Denver. That's just the commitment from me, myself, and the channel. Me and Kaz both the same. That's where we're at. Anyway, in terms of them shirt sizes, like I said, just go 2 up. But honestly, guys, if you go onto the actual site and look at them, and this is what I did, the site has a size guide there. It goes off weight, it goes off height, it goes off everything, and it tells you exactly what to order. It's dead straightforward. But rule of thumb, 2 sizes up is what I go, and it always works out for me. And I think it's worked for all of the mods, and I think they will vouch for that size guide being pretty much on point. Oddy Grass, love this community. Adam, mate, well done. Keep it up. Thank you, Oddy. That's brilliant, mate. And I appreciate you dropping them memberships in as well, my friend. One of my mods, Stu, actually, I forgot to mention it yesterday, who has been a member for God knows how long right now. I missed his membership renewal yesterday. It didn't come up on my YouTube page, but I know he's had to shoot off because he's got family there. But big up to you, Stu, as well, mate, for yesterday's balls up there from my side on YouTube. Didn't see it the same way that it said it on screen for you, mate, I'm afraid. But thank you, mate. Again, all your work and everything that goes on behind the scenes and the help you do in the shows. Cheers, everyone. Ant with another super chat. It's a nonsense. He's earned a proper move. Who are we talking about here? Ant, who's that one? Anthony? Is that Anthony that you're talking? I think it is Anthony that you're talking about there, mate. You didn't put it in on the chat there. Thanks for that, Ant. But yeah, Anthony has earned a move because he's gone away and he's tried to find something. He's tried to make his career happen again. And that I have to credit, and I have to give credit to. So yes, that for me, I think, is why I've got a little bit more time for Anthony, but not too much, like I just said. Get him out. But he is going to have to compromise if he wants to go, because there's someone else who wants him. Out you go. Make it happen. I can't see United accepting a deal from Betis for Anthony unless they significantly improve their offer, says Andrew. I'm with you on that one, but Tom said he bought an XL for me, but bought 2 XL for the purple shirt. Yes, that makes sense. Quadruple XL, says Stephanie. No, calm down. Adam is a proper geezer, innit? Says Kaze. Random comments, I love him. Alright, let's see what else we got in here. Just add-ons here. No upfront fees, take players back, no guarantees, black or white, rich or poor, will F up deals at a stroke. Not happy, Solskjaer, mate, are you? Give it time. I know we say Manchester United always drag deals out. We can't give this club time. They've balls it up before. I get it. I do get it. But are you not a little bit intrigued as to seeing what Man United's new management team and structure can do with a bit of time and a full transfer window with a plan in place? Like, let them have the window and let's see what they can do. And look, I'll sit here and I'll take every single ounce of abuse from everybody in the chat, live, if I am wrong about Manchester United making better deals this summer. Let them cook. I'll talk about every news and every angle on what can happen from every single scenario. I'll talk about why we might be looking at swaps, why we might be looking at loans. This deal works better, that deal works better. Maybe it's because of this. I just explain all of the different angles and different points of view. And then we come together and debate it on every single show. I bring you the news, we talk about it. At the end of the day, when the deal is done, the deal is done. And when that window shuts, we can really pass criticism then, or we can pass positive comments if Manchester United have made something of the window. So, yeah, that's where I'm at, and I think that's probably fair. But, yeah, it is looking more positive on Jadon Sancho, put it that way. That's just for everybody looking in. Also, again, everybody, the Euro starts tonight. Is anyone watching the Women's Euros? Don't laugh it off. I coach women's football myself. I'm a big advocate for it. It is entertaining, to say the least. And our match day sponsor, Match Bingo, are back in with us again. I'm going to say it every time, everybody. You are missing out if you are not part of Match Bingo. Trust me. Simple as downloading the the app off the link in the description, or just scan the QR code on the screen. It's matching my shirt, so you've got to scan that code for that reason. I didn't even realise that then. I'm actually colour coordinated tonight. But as you can see on the screen, it is dead easy to play the game. Deposit £5 when you have downloaded the app, and we have some Euro specials. If you deposit £5 as a new customer, you get an extra £10 to spend, and with it only costing £2 a game, you might as well go for it. You buy your match card for the particular game, as you can see on the screen, and it's like playing bingo with match events. Throw-ins, goals, corners, 5 in a row, like in the bingo hall, gets you 25 quid. If you get 2 rows, another 25 quid. And then a jackpot of all 15 events gets you upwards of 200 quid, sorry. You're not getting 200 million, but 200 quid would be nice in your skyrocket, wouldn't it, for watching a Euros game? Covering the whole Euros as well as other sports as well. So why don't you play darts with bingo and the Club World Cup? All of them games going on. If you scan the QR code or hit that link, I think the link is in the live chat as well right now. One of my mods has just put it in as well, please, if you can. But in the description, QR code on the screen, download the app. You have to be 18 above, UK resident as well. You do actually get an extra card if you buy 4 as well, and it's only £2 a card, everybody. Why wouldn't you want to get in on Match Bingo and have a little bit more excitement in the game? But that finishes our show, everybody. Like I said, we are a bit earlier tonight, so if anything does break later, I'm back with you. Got you covered, as always, everybody. It is going to be, I think, an event. I don't know why. I've got a feeling about tonight. I just do. I think there's more news to come. I'll have you covered on there anyway, everybody. But get into it. Get on Match Bingo. Get onto your shirts. The links are all there in the live chat and the description, everybody. It is a load of fun, Match Bingo. You are missing out. But yes, I will see you all later on, hopefully with more news. Can I order from the USA? Of course you can, United we stand. You can. You can order from anywhere in the world. It's a worldwide one for these shirts anyway. Actually, let me just check there's no other news. A full agreement, the deal is accelerated. Yeah, I've got it there. I'm up to date with all the Sancho stuff. Everything is there. Everything is clear. If anything else changes later on, I will be back. But until then, everybody, thank you. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. You will be kept up to date if you do.